Hello, students. We are meeting again for our next lecture, and we are discussing the chapter Introduction to Green Chemistry. Under that, in the last lecture, we started one very important point in the green chemistry, that is various aspects and principles of the green chemistry. Under that, we have discussed atom economy, then reduction of risk, then risk of no risk also last time we discussed, and we were discussing waste reduction and waste prevention, and under that this waste management depends on 4 R's. Okay, that is reduce, recycle, reuse, and recover. So in the previous lecture, as we discussed, that generation of waste and byproducts creates burden on environment. That is the basic problem, because desired product, whatever is going to form, that we are going to use. So there is no question of the desired product, but what will happen to waste product or the uh, undesired waste material which will be formed. So that is the burden on the environment. So one of the important aspect of green chemistry is to reduce the generation of waste or hazardous material. Okay, so how to achieve this uh, reduction of the generation of waste material? For that, first and very common solution is the legislation and regulations have created an awareness. Means whenever a new law or new regulation comes into existence, first awareness has to be created, and then along with that, there is a possible legal action or lawsuits in connection with this waste generation. So as the initially the plants were the industries were not taking care of this waste material, they are, as soon as it is formed, they are just let it release in the environmental segments like water bodies or atmosphere or the landmass. But with introduction of these new laws, initially industrialists find it very costly. But as the new entrants come in the industrial sector, uh, before uh, before this commissioning of the plant, they used to take care of this, what to do with the waste material. So it has become the part and parcel of the plant of the industrial part product. Okay, so when they are started thinking about this, they have also understood the minimizing the quantities of waste produced lead to good business. Okay, means they need not to think about what to do with this waste material, or they don't have to spend money on development of the technology how to convert or treatment of the waste material. Another thing, waste materials are materials. Okay, wastes are the materials, and they have materials have value. Therefore, all material should be used for beneficial purpose. So it must be remembered that discarding such waste involves a high cost of disposal. No doubt about it. So one should think about what can we do with this waste material. Can we recycle it? Can we reuse it? Or can we use it for the production of some other chemical product? Okay, so here industry by itself is an ecological system of waste reduction and minimization. Okay, and while doing so, every aspect has to be considered. Okay, so industry, when it is started to construct a plant, they have to think about all these aspects. So reduction of waste has to be considered in a broader perspective. Trying to reduce one waste in isolation may lead to some other problem as well. Means if you are going to reduce the mm, uh, particular waste material, that may lead to one more problem. Okay, so any chemical manufacturing process involves the use of reaction medium, means whatever may be the chemical product. Okay, first of all they need reaction medium, that is solvent. They might be using catalyst. They might be use the reactants which come along with some contaminants, or the products which are formed, they may have also some contaminants or byproducts which are formed. They may be waste material, or they may undergo some undesired reaction, that is side reaction, that will give another products which are not desired. So then concentration, then separation, etc, all these are the part and parcel of manufacturing process. The quantities of such products can be reduced, that is a waste material. Okay, so their quantities can be reduced by source reduction, or waste separation, or you can go for concentration, or resource recovery, or waste recycling. So these are the, you can say, various uh, ways by which you can reduce the quantity of waste material. Means here first, source reduction means at source can you reduce it, means can you modify the process so that it won't form, or it will, if at all it forms, it will be in minimum quantity. Or if at all it forms, can you go for waste separation? That means if you separate solid, liquid, gaseous separate, and then treat them separately, then it may be useful. Or you can reduce the quantity, the first R, by concentration, so that its processing will be easy. Or can you resource the recovery? Okay, so here, uh, in this diagram, the general you can say points are indicated where the waste material can be formed. Means, see, manufacturing process start with the reactants, so contaminants may come along with, you have to use reaction medium, you have to use solvent, catalyst, everything. So they may come here, and this reaction media and catalyst after use, where they will go. So you have to think about it, their separation, concentration, everything. So you may get the useful product or byproducts. At the same time, discharge that may require replacement, so unwanted product here. Okay, that will go in wastewater, it will go solid, go in sludges, and if it is gaseous, then it will go in atmosphere. Or if possible, this is very important, that if possible you can recycle it, or sometimes you can pass it to the product. Means this can be a one of the important product also, it may be a side product. So these are the various points where waste material can maybe generated. So how to reduce is, some modifications can be chemical in nature, some may be reduction in volume, while some at some places use of catalyst may work. Means sometimes if yield is not good, you can use catalyst, so your yield will increase. And if the yield is going to increase, obviously there will be reduction in the formation of waste material. Or you can control the volume of the reactants. Okay, so that you will get a good quantity of yield. Some modifications can be in chemical in nature. Means can you change the reactant, can you change the some other sources of the reactant. So depending on that, you can have these various ways of reduction of waste material. Then can you replace the toxic material? Okay, hazardous material which are acting as a starting material. So that is one way of reduction of the waste material. Then dehydrating and drying the sludge help in reducing the volume of waste. Means if at all some waste material is going to form, either you can remove solvent, if it is water you can dehydrate, or you can dry it. Okay, so that you can recover the solvent also, and the contaminant may go in the solid form, and you can reduce the volume, okay, instead of a large spray. Then large amount of solvents are used as a medium, okay. So for example, cleaning in manufacturing industry, and these along with other waste are discharged in water streams. Means these organic materials, they are helpful to remove the organic impurities or organic waste material, or cleaning of the organic contaminants. But all of them along with the contaminant, these solvent go in the water stream, so they are very harmful for environment. So according to US government, solvents used for cleaning, degreasing, spent motor oil from engines, or waste paint thinners, or you can say antifreeze, anti-boil engine cooling formulations, batteries, inks, and many such substances have been declared as source of waste. So you can, it is very self-explanatory. So these are the sources of waste. Hospital, if you go to the hospitals, clinics, and medical laboratories are also generating waste. So nowadays, in the corona situation, you must have come across with this kind of problem, that even if you are using a PPE kit, you can use it once only, and you have to throw it, okay. And you cannot throw it as a general garbage in the garbage container. You have to collect and treat and keep it safely, so that no one should come in contact. So especially like industrial waste, this hospital garbage is very you can say add very important to recycle, or treat it, keeping it somewhere. And at the same time, it is very you can say threatening to the common person. It can be a clinic, it can be a not only a hospital, it can be a medical laboratory. Nowadays you are going to medical lab for testing of your blood or urine. So after testing, where this blood and urine goes, they just throw it, or whatever chemicals they are using for the test, where those chemicals they are going, they are just throwing in basin. From basin, where it goes through the sanitary pipe to the water bodies. So especially this bio waste, you can say biochemical waste, which is formed in hospital, clinics, and medical laboratories. It is very you can say point to be taken seriously and treat it very carefully, okay. It is not just a common garbage that will have foul smell or something like. It is at the same time, it is very dangerous for common person. So today in our country, these wastes are collected and incinerated. Means you must have seen in the laboratory once. Even when I went to the for blood test, as soon as my blood is collected, in a while they take out the that iron needle, and just directly put it into electrical furnace kind of thing, where it is get melted. Means there is no question of if at all there is some virus or any bioactive molecules or chemicals are there in the needle, they get destroyed. So same thing, so in our country, these bio chemical wastes are collected, and they are incinerated means they are heated in supply of oxygen, so that it can be oxidized very easily, okay, and thus by attempt to reduce the waste. Then the most important or crucial part of waste minimization is development of concept of material balance, okay. So this is new to our country. This is not only helps to reduce waste, but also benefit the industrial economy, okay. So for achieving these all aspects of waste streams, including source identification of the type of waste or quantity generated and cost of handling, treatment, recycling, and disposal are studied thoroughly. Means if you want to reduce the waste, you have to consider all these aspects. Okay, so whenever a new industry is to be started, you have to take care of all these things. Means before actual constructing the plant, if you think about this, so the cost of the product can be included along with these aspects, so there won't be any all of sudden problem. Okay, so this has been taken seriously by many industries and have reduced their waste generation to the extent of 97% in some cases. Means not all the cases, but this you can take it as a hope. Okay, a line or golden edge or a gold silver lining of the problem, that in some cases you can reduce up to 97%. If you can't reduce, then no doubt you go for some research or innovation, come with new ideas, and for that new ideas always follow the nature. Again, the example which I have given in the last lecture also, every process, if it is a cyclic, then there is no formation of waste. Okay, last time I have given the example of photosynthesis and digestion of food, respiration and transpiration. You can take any example. For example, take example of nitrogen cycling. What happens? Nitrogen is 78% in the atmosphere. When there is a lightning, this nitrogen gas converted due to lightning source, it reacts with oxygen and form the nitrogen oxides. When it comes in contact with water vapors, it comes on the earth surface through precipitation, that is raining. And when it comes on the land mass, it get converted to nitrate. Same nitrate is taken up by plants. It is for converting it into the amino acids or proteins or some other food material. Same food material is again either eat up by the animals, or the same plant may die. So when that animal or plant dies, the same nitrogen which is in the nitroform again get reduced and released in the atmosphere as a nitrogen gas. Means the journey started from atmosphere and again end to the atmosphere. So here uh, there is nothing like waste material that is formed. Okay, so all why it is happening, the basic principle is that everywhere wherever there is a cyclic process, if there is a repetition, if there is a you can say repetition of the process, so there won't be any formation of waste material, which were discussed when we started what is green chemistry. At that time only we have seen that you have to follow the nature. Okay, so whenever you are thinking about developing a new chemical technology, if you start thinking in cyclic manner, then I think that will be useful. Now next is waste prevention. Okay, so waste prevention is better than having to treat the waste. So no, don't generate the waste. Why to waste the money on treating the waste? Earlier, the cost of producing large amount of waste was very low, because people were unaware, industries were unaware of the environmental issues. Okay, so as soon as it is formed, they just discard it into the water streams or groundwater bodies or in the air. So with such practice, what happens, it was a low cost. But when new laws come into existing, with the passage and implementation of the laws and legislation, the cost of waste treatment has increased, because they have to think about some more additional plant or some you can say treatment plant of waste material. So they have to add this unit. So that has the cost of such process, they are not, industries have not taken into account. So as the new law come into existence, they have to think about it, and therefore their cost has increased. So earlier, I can give you your example. Industries like General Electrical pay millions of dollars for cleaning the PCB waste discarded in the rivers, while DuPont have this is one more company, DuPont had to pay $600 million for settlement of environmental pollution. So here one has to think about very seriously, and that's why the new laws are also framed in such a way that whenever you want to start any industry, whenever you want to start any plant, first you have to take the permission from environmental department, where they will check all these things, they will audit it, and they will give the permission. So before commencing the plant, if the industrialists are made aware of this, then they will also think in that, and they will go for such a process or technology where there is no you can say generation of waste material. And if at all it is formed, then they have the answer or the solution how to control it, how to reduce it, how to treat it without creating any harmful effect on the environment or the living organisms. So all these things such as engineering controls, regulatory compliances, personnel protection, wastewater treatments, safe disposal of hazardous substances are worthwhile to society and environment, but they add to production costs substantially. Okay, so companies have to do full cost accounting considering all these factors. Means earlier they were not taking into account about this waste material treatment. So now before starting, at the beginning only, they know that they have to spend money on this part also. It is not something forced on that. It has become the part and parcel of their plant or unit. Okay, so here waste prevention were discussed, and we discussed the 4 R's, that is reduce, recycle, reuse, and recover. Okay, so here this completes our waste reduction and waste prevention, this topic of the introduction to green chemistry. In the next lecture, we'll discuss basic principles of the green chemistry. Okay, so we'll stop here for today's lecture. Thank you.